Hello and welcome to Simple Web, where we are working through converting a HTML template into a fully functioning WordPress theme. So let's switch over to where we were at last time. As you can see, we just finished doing the archive page for our services. Now we want to work on the single page. So we had this open before where we were working through the WordPress template hierarchy, and now we're in a singular page. So we're at a single post page. We're on a custom post type, so we want to create post type, a single dash post type. So let's do that in here. So we are working in the root of our theme. So we'll go single dash service dot php. Then in here we're going to go php get header, and in the footer we're going to go php get the footer. Now if we refresh, we'll see nothing has changed because we're still in here. But if we output content in here, just to check, no, single dash service dot php, single dash post type. Why is that? Oh, because it's not in the root. I accidentally dropped it into the HTML. Now it's in the root. Cool. Refresh. There we go. So there's our content coming through in there. Now, as I said in the last video, we don't actually have a template for this. So if we go to our live demo, we click on this, it just brings us back to this page. So how are we going to handle it? Let's have a look. Are there any single? We've got nothing for the project. They just show the archive pages. But we do have a 404 page, which does have some content in it. What else do we have? We have a testimonial page, which just shows that, which we're not going to use at all. What else do we have? We have our team pages, which just show the team cards. So we're going to have to get creative in your contact. Yeah, I think we're going to use, basically, we're going to use similar to the contact page in terms we're going to output the content in here. So let's go to our HTML into our contact start. So we've got this container that we want to add. So we'll add that in. Then we've got, we're doing the H1 tag up in here. So the H1 will be that one there, but we can still keep working. So we've got another container here. Let's do this one. So now we're working in here. So we just output some content in here. We can see it's all in here. So let's go and add our H1. So we've got this is our, this looks like this would be the code here for this. So we've got a pre-header and a header. So let's put that in there. So if we drop that in, so in this one here, this will not be a H1 because we're already assigning a H1 in the header. We'll give it the H1 class, and then we're going to get the title. We'll get this title for this post, and we'll change that closing H1 to H2. So now it's in here. So as you scroll down, it's still saved up, but we want to change this. So I'm going to do something similar to what I did. I'm going to go home. So I'm going to go up here, PHP, home, and I want to get that same pre-heading. Okay, and then we're going to go, I think we can do the same thing. Section title, text secondary, justify content center. Text secondary, yeah. So we're just got to copy that in here. Yep, there we go. So now it's changed to our services. So all we did there was the same as we did for the archive page. We went and got the pre-heading from the home page. And if it's not there, it defaults to our services. So we always get a value here. And this is a title. We always have a title. So that's fine. So the next thing we want to do is just output content. So if we go into services and go all services and edit the app development, so we've got this content in here. So let's have a look. So what I want to do is, so we'll go back, we're using that content. So now we've got, I don't think we want to justify content center and do a row. So I'm thinking we just, in a single service, alright, so we're working in this container still. Let's take that same container and just output the content. So the content is a WordPress function that just outputs the content that's in here. So if we go and put that in, like if we go and update this now, refresh this now, it'll just come out as empty. Okay, but if we go and put some content in here, now it's outputting content. In fact, we don't need that padding, I don't think. So I might just go in here and go do that. There's all this white space between here. I don't think we need it. Yeah, but I do want to add in this. So we'll do a fade in. So we're going to do a fade in of the content. And I'll just delay that by 0.2, seeing as we're delaying the other one by 0.1. So look, refresh. There we go. So there we go. All right, now the next thing I want to do is what if it has a featured image? So let's go do that. PHP, and we did this before, if has post thumbnail. Because if you remember, we assigned a featured image. So let's, but we're going to do, we don't need to do much here, because if we Google that, has post thumbnail, and look at the examples, then there's actually functionality, it's just a simple way to output it. So we scroll down to the examples, if has post thumbnail, yeah, the post thumbnail. That's all we have to do. So if we go and edit this service now and set a featured image, let's just set it to this one. So if we do that now, see? Alright, so let us do, we don't want to do that. Alright, so let's add a padding PY, no, PY, let's do that same one, PY-5. Let's go, so if has post thumbnail, let's go image source equals alt equals, and we want to go echo the get the post thumbnail URL, and we want to pass through the ID, get the ID, and we'll put a size through there. For now I'm just going to do full, but we probably won't want it full. And alt will be get the title image. So if we refresh that now, we shouldn't see any difference. We've got the padding top there, so that's looking good. Let's change that to a delay of 0.3, and let's output that 0.2. Right. We don't need that. We don't need that in there now because we're adding that in there. We're adding too much, because we're just adding too much white space down there. Yep, that's what we want. All right, but now what I want to do, what if I change that image to remove that featured image to this featured image? So this one. Well, we'll see it will look different. See, it's looking different. So we want this to be center aligned, and we want it to be, can we do this? If we look at the contact, there's a text line, text center, I think it is, justify content center. Let's see if we can add that into here for the starters. Hopefully that will align that image to be center. No. I wonder why that did not justify content center. Let's have a look. Let's go. So if we go bootstrap, I'm sure we can do text center. Align 5, align, because we're running 5, align item center, bootstrap 5. Or maybe we need to put deflex in here. There we go. So deflex. We had to tell it was flex. Cool. And justify content center. Now let's do some border radius. I want to do radius. Border radius. So we can do some border radius here. So I just want like that one. Let's just do class of rounded in the image. Class equals rounded. So give us some rounded corners on this image. There we go. So we've got some rounded corners just to make it soften it up a bit. And I'm going to actually set that so as my width. So 500 by 400. So if we go to our functions, I'm pretty sure we'll have the right size for that. Scale 500 by 400. So if we go back to our get the post thumbnail, we can do that. And when we refresh, we won't see any changes because we're outputting the same size, the full size of the image. But now we can make sure we're not overloading the size, and we can just do our content. Now there is no pagination in the bottom here. So let's add in some next post. So if we go WordPress next post link, go. So that's what we want. Let's have a look. That looks like it's got bootstrap classes in it too. So in our container, see if we want it in there. Oh, what's going on? Why have we got WL? They have put WL in there. Yeah. Don't know why. They shouldn't need to. Let's just comment that one out. If you look, they've just put UL. They put the same UL. And let's have a look. So there's our previous link. And there we go. So we want in this one here. We can get rid of these. That went wrong anyway. And that's that next. And that's that. So we want to do this the other way around. So we want to go previous at the top. So we want the previous post to be the first. And this next one to, and we want this one to be arrow. Previous should be arrow left. It should be right. Have a look. But we want it to be before the title. And then this one will be after the title. Oops. So have a look. There we go. But now we want to add a gap. -4. We can get rid of that margin bottom, I think. Gap. There we go. So we don't want to do justify content center. We want to do, if we go back to our bootstrap 5 lines and flex, so justify content, we want it to be this one here, between. So justify content between. So we leave the gap 4 in there, because that way if the page is too small, it's still, but if we go, there we go. We do want that to be inside the container, I think. Or do we want that at the bottom? No, I think that's all right. So if we go back to this one, okay, that's, yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, that looks fine. We've got some navigating between the posts now. So that takes care of our single post type. We're rendering out the content and the image, so that way whatever's in here, whatever's in there, that's what gets rendered out. We could always, instead of our services, we could render out the icon in there, but I'm not going to bother because we're rendering out the image. All right, so that'll do for that one. In the next video, we will, if we go back to our home page, we will do our projects. Yes, our projects, which is pretty much going to be the same as what we did for service. We're going to replicate that for projects. So I will see you in the next video.